There's some something controversial happened, and we'll talk about it.
Oh, most definitely. I know exactly what you're talking about. You talk
But
about
some
Bananas
that's
taking that unnecessary cheap shot at King Paulie, right? Completely out of line.
no,
Completely out
N-
of line.
no. Somebody actually didn't officially win the daily, but they got claimed the
Yeah.
winner, and it
Did,
let somebody go into elimination that went home. When in reality, the person that won the daily probably would have went home in this elimination.
did you rewatch it?
I did rewatch it, and then I have a screenshot that I
Yeah.
saw from online,
I
and
I wanted to rewatch it just to make sure that we wasn't messing up or somebody didn't
it
call it out
wasn't
wrong.
taken out of context. Like,
It doesn't seem that way.
and there, I just sent it to you that way you have it on your phone because then we can kind of discuss it as it's happening. Now, one big thing we don't know at time wise, maybe Jenny had an extra 5 minutes in that time that she could have fixed, the things that were wrong. But we'll get to that.
Doesn't seem that way.
Let's go ahead and bring us in now.
All right, so, great idea. What's really good, pot stirrers? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. What's really good? Gang, 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 gang. Let me tell you something that really irritated me. I actually thought about my t-shirt today because I got notified that today the trailer for the new Superman movie came
Oh,
out today. And it
cool,
was
cool.
great. You got to see Lois Lane, got to see Crypto the Superdog. I wasn't able to make out everything, but it looked pretty awesome. So I wore my Superman shirt. And my Superman shirt is of the light blue variety, and it does not jive well with a green screen.
Yeah,
So sad. So
not
I
a
just
big
had to go
DC
in,
guy.
had to just go in a little bit of this, hold it
Yeah,
down with. How's you though? How's everything shaking on that side?
it's going all right. There's a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, we get, I posted on our Facebook, we have our cast reveal of these 13 pairs for All Stars 5, which is Rivals. A lot of people are freaking out about it, but of those 20,
Why? Isn't this what we want?
here's the thing, of those 26 people, only 9 of them don't come from Real World or Road Rules. Like, that's it, only 9. So, I mean, we still have 17 original cast members from these areas. And I know some people are like, I've even seen people go, well, why is Sammy an all-star? Well, hold on, Sam, why is Sam an all-star? Well, Sam's an all-star because Frank's an all-star. They're both real world, and you need a rival to be on the show.
Isn't Frank a
And
champion?
so Sam,
No,
they
I'm,
both
I'm
are.
sorry. That's what I meant. Yeah, isn't Sam a champion? So stop it.
Sam, Sam and Frank are both champions. They're from Real World. Like they debuted on like season 23 of the challenge. So it's like, what are we? That's 17 seasons ago. And you're
You're not
talking
going
about
to
they're
get
not
any of those
OGs. Like
arguments from me. None of
I
those
under,
arguments are going to be from me.
I understand. Corey's on it. Okay, Big T. Oh, okay. I get it. They're from like the third. Melissa. Okay, I see we're pushing it.
Yeah, pushing it, but guess what? Pushing it is actually pretty okay sometimes. So I'm not too worried about these things. I think they're going to be totally fine. I think the season's going to be totally awesome.
Everybody wanted All Stars to kind of evolve and not just be like the same type of
It
format that
has
it
to.
was.
It has
So if it
to.
evolves into a Rivals, that's when we see this like, well, now we have to invite somebody that maybe isn't in our category of like, the OG you want, but they fit the theme of Rivals. And
Plus,
when
they
we're
gave
getting
us
our,
the OGs.
yeah,
You can't give us the OGs forever. Come on, how many of these you think Cyrus still has in them?
dude, rewatch if you have it, go rewatch All Stars 1 and watch like the first 2 challenges. You'll be like, this is embarrassing,
Yeah,
actually. I
yeah,
could do this right now.
yeah. Exactly. But
And
let's go
mind
ahead
you,
and
I have a walking boot on right now, and I think I
why?
could.
What happened?
I'm just getting older.
Did you try to do soccer?
I did try to do soccer. I did
Yeah,
hurt
makes
myself.
sense. Makes sense. All right, so jumping in, Cara, Jenny, and Rachel, they're going to be the targets. We got a location change to the Philippines, and if I remember correctly, I don't think we've ever had uh, a challenge take place in the Philippines. At least none that I could
Well,
pull off the top of my head.
not off the top of my head either. I'm looking right now. I don't have Philippines on here at all.
You
I
have a
got
list of
no.
this
I
shit?
I got no Philippines. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, because that's normal.
No, it is. No, I mean, like, I have the challenge Wikipedia page up at all times during our
Big shout out to the
episodes.
people who contribute to that too, by the way.
Not
Everybody
just
uses it.
Wikipedia, but the challenge wiki as
Yeah, the
well.
challenge
Both of
wiki.
them. Both.
Yeah, this is for the challenge wiki. Everybody who contributes to that, big shout out to you guys. We use your work. A lot of people do. You guys don't get any of the credit, so here you go. Also, Off the Hook Pod hit me up. They want to collaborate for the All Stars 5 reveal, and I think that's going to be awesome sauce. Sounds good. Love those guys. Big shout out to them. Moving on to the A block. So we get the location change. Nothing really happens besides a really, really messy dinner. And I don't really want to dig too deep into the dinner, except for the fact that Bananas was wrong on every single level here. Every single level. Talk about, Tori hiding in her mega alliance, yada, yada, yada. Total BS. Once this game has went individual, Tori has won more than half of those eliminations. Here goes the kicker.
Dailies.
Dailies, yes, dailies.
She hasn't had to go into elimination because she can't be a target because she's winning so much.
But check this out. She's won on every male day. She never could have been a target. Every male day that there was, Tori won that day.
That's like getting getting mad that the Kansas City Chiefs are like the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. They keep winning, and it's like, well, it's only because of the refs. It's like, no, they're just a better overall football team. The refs
and
might favor them too.
They're finding a way to win.
They're finding a way, yeah. But that's the truth, and I think it's here's the thing: when somebody plays a better game than you can't get mad. Like you can't. Like that's this. Tori has outplayed Bananas for the second season in a row they've been on together. Ride or Dies, she outplayed him, and here she is now outplaying him.
100%. And Bananas is not one to talk, especially where so many of your seasons came off the backs of your alliances and the alliances that you set up. So just doesn't make any sense at all. We do not buy it at all. So also at this point, all of the men are going to be in the final, which I really, really like. But TJ announces before the daily that whoever the male loser is going to get a penalty for the final. Do you think that's fair or foul? I didn't like that.
So I think the only reason why is because like they still need to compete because the male winner picks the female player going into elimination, and so you want to make sure that everybody tries. Giving a penalty is it's a especially when we have the karma vote that we don't know what's going to happen to that yet, how badly that's going to affect some people, which like we're expecting it to dramatically affect Bananas.
I don't expect it to. I'm telling you, this whole karma vote, I don't think anything's going to really come of it.
Bananas has only lost like 2 people in this season that have maybe given him 5 stars, and that's like Leroy and Aviv. Like that's it. Like if you think about it, Laurel he was close with gave him 1 star. I don't know. I think it's gonna really affect somebody. It's gonna be super controversial when we get if like somebody has a bunch of negative, karma votes and they end up losing the final because of it. It's gonna be drama. But I mean, you need to do something. A penalty. I don't like it, especially because a final should be an even playing field when it's already
exactly
not.
What I was thinking. You know what I was thinking? Something like sleeping arrangements, comfort, or maybe you have to eat a certain kind of food, like your food won't be as something like that would be fine. I don't think you should mess with the final.
I think what it should just do is what they should have done is they should have said every player will have a disadvantage in the final, and the winner of today's daily gets to pick their disadvantage, and whoever gets last doesn't get to pick. You know what I mean? So it might be you have 1 extra plate of food. You get the worst sleeping arrangement. You've got to carry a 5-pound weight up the hill. Something like minor you could adjust.
Exactly.
Where coming in first is like, oh, well, I'll eat the extra food because that takes me 30 seconds. Like I can eat. You could pick your own poison, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's not like Derek has a 10-minute penalty and then loses by 3 minutes in the final. And it's like,
oh God, that would be just terrible on so many levels. So getting on to this daily. Today's daily is called Fortress Bricks. Basically, they're in a castle. They have to race up this villa with solving stations. They have to bring down 4 bricks. For every 4 bricks they bring down, they can bring up 1 plank. For a total of 10 planks, and then they got to build the puzzle. Pretty simple off top.
Right.
This one looked brutal. Looked like it required a lot of cardio. The puzzle didn't look like it required too much brain power, but I thought it was overall a solid daily. I thought it was
Yeah,
presented in the best way it could have been presented. I think they should have focused more on the, going up and down with the bricks and stuff, because that looked really, really brutal under, the hot, Filipino sun.
yeah. I mean, and it looked like everybody was exerting themselves. I mean, we saw Tori fall behind early, kind of with Michelle, and Michelle's talking about how like she's not as strong as these other women, and like that's like such a disadvantage for her, but she's still going to keep pushing herself.
I'm glad you
And
said that, because Michelle really shone out on this one. It looked like she was destined to be last. It looked
right.
like Tori took her foot off the gas. It looks like Michelle just really just perseverance. I think that really speaks to her character as a competitor and as a challenger. I really love seeing that. I find Michelle, I never hated Michelle, and I find her more and more likable every season that I see her on.
Well, she's an underdog, like we saw her
Mm.
on like everybody didn't like her on 39 because she was kind of in charge of like running everything. And when you're in that power position, but you also haven't done anything on the show, but you're kind of a little bit arrogant about it, that's when like fans kind of get off-putting, about people. But now she's sitting here as like the clear underdog, and every time she talks about her being an underdog, she's not saying like I don't have a chance against these women. She's just talking about how good they are. Like they're so strong. They have such endurance. They are champions. They've been to finals. Like
I like the way you said that. Her approach to it is actually pretty likable. It's not that like, it's like my competition is so good. She's actually giving them props, and yeah, I mean, you're right. I never even noticed that, and I think that helps people like her more. I do like Michelle. I like her very
in,
much.
and instead of it being poor me, it's like look what I got. If I want to win, look what I have to go through. I mean, she has the hardest chance to try and win because everybody in that final she's going to go against has been to a final, has won a final. They've won pairs finals. They've won solo finals. Like,
Oh snap!
it's
She's the only
everything.
non-champ there, and this is her first final.
It's our first, yeah, exactly. So
That's great. That's
huge
just great.
disadvantage. At least like the men like Kylan and Derek have both never been to a true final, so somebody else is there. But yeah,
Right,
overall
but
I thought
Colin has came in great, and Derek has been showing out his last two seasons. So
this was a
you
great
can't sleep on
daily.
any of these guys.
I think they could have done this daily like right away when they went individual, and it would have been good. Like
Mm.
with how strong it was. So let's get into the controversy. And I mean, you have the photo. You can place the photo on this video if you want to place it. You have it. But there's some things going around that they show. There's a screenshot, and it's right after Jenny gets named the winner, and she's walking away as the winner. They show her pieces, and they don't quite align on the top and bottom. Some people are saying that the greens are wrong. So
From
let's talk about it.
from what when I took a look and I saw it, that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like somebody made an error. Do I think that this was done on purpose? Do I think it's a huge conspiracy? Probably not. Do I think somebody fucked up? Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
if her pieces are wrong, indeed, and she didn't win, here's what happened. Kara had to go into elimination. Kara got sent home. Jenny is safe. Well, if it's the same roles, let's just say that's all. Kara and Jenny are the only two that switch. Kara wins. Kara's safe. Kara's in the final. Jordan puts in Jenny against Tori because he still has that deal with Rachel. And
Hmm.
and Jenny is 95% muscle. Like I don't think in a floating challenge, muscle sinks. And I think that she would lose that and she wouldn't be in the final against Tori. That's what I truly believe. And so this controversy is going to go out there because it sent home a fan favorite in Kara. We're going to see if they talk about this. I don't think, I mean, obviously the reunion already happened, so they haven't shown this on the show. I want to hear people, Kara's pretty big on social media. I want to know what happened. So
So, for the first time in your life, you probably never heard this before, but you are 100% right. 100% right, all across the board. This was done wrong. It would have been, and you know what I wouldn't have minded seeing? I wouldn't have minded them, coming out the next day, say, hey, there was an error that was made. This is what we're going to do to rectify it. You and Jenny is going to have to do a showdown, winner takes all. Whoever wins is in the final. Whoever loses has to redo the elimination.
Or
Some
just put them all in the tribunal and just say nobody's safe. We could have done that. Like Jenny technically didn't win, so instead of giving Cara the win, all three of you are up for Jordan to put into elimination.
also fine, and also we've seen three-way eliminations before.
This one could have been. This one could have been the first one of you to drop. They literally, it would have been so fine.
And
The
it
only
would have been
downfall
fine.
that the biggest downfall I saw to this is like, for me, when we get late in the game with these targets, I think they should have got rid of the targets when we were down to the final 6. And it literally should have just been, if you lose, you're in, and if you win, you're safe. And then the winner of the girls gets to pick any of the guys that didn't win. Like, that's what I thought they should have done, but that's just me.
Yeah, and to simplify it, it looks like it's a bonehead move from Challenge Production, and the worst thing that ever happens to the challengers is when their wins and stuff. Don't get me wrong, people are always going to bitch and moan and complain about something. We're challenge fans. We are never, ever going to be happy. Even when you give us what we want, we will still not even be fully happy. Even with this whole Everest thing, where we kind of are getting everything we want, we're still not really, really happy. So
Well,
I think it was a bonehead move. I think they should own up to it. The worst thing you can do is make somebody's win not legitimate.
that's the thing. Like, let's say Jenny or Tori win the season, there's going to be an asterisk there, because even though I believe Tori would have beat Jenny in the same elimination, maybe she doesn't. Maybe Jenny sends her home. So now
Right.
Tori wins when she wasn't supposed to go against Cara. And then it takes away a chance for Cara to win. But then also, if Jenny wins, it's like, well, Jenny could have been sent home and not even here. So it's like, yeah, there's going to be an asterisk. There really could be an asterisk for all this. But then again, I think Tori potentially could have beat anybody in that elimination.
I think Rachel's the only one giving her a real run for her money
probably.
because she's super athletic and she's light. But all reality, she's dusting most of the house in this elimination. Here goes the funny thing is, even if you threw the guys in there, she's probably dusting most of the guys.
Yeah.
Maybe Derek, maybe Jordan has a chance.
This is, I know some people maybe don't like these eliminations, but like, we were watching it, and like when they hit the 2-hour mark, my wife was like, just put them both in the final. Like, just do that. And then just knock somebody out after the first day. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't like to put the arms up thing. I see why they did it. Hey, let's wrap this up. We can't keep them in there forever. I would have been totally fine if these ladies are treading water for 7 hours.
it's interesting that they showed bananas with the longest elimination ever, even though it was
Yeah. Another controversial finish.
which is kind of interesting that that's the thing they chose to show, because they showed that when they were like the hour mark, and then they ended up going for like 2.5 hours. So it's like they were only halfway to the record. You didn't have to show a controversial, but you don't have to show a controversial thing when you had another controversy on your hands in this, and they had to know it was controversial too.
It comes off as tone deaf.
Yeah. But I mean, that came down to, Tori's legs are a little stronger, and I mean, that's like such a fear-based elimination. It's like, I'm gonna go until I can't go. Well, if you can't go, you drowned. Like,
Yeah.
that's terrifying. But
it is. Oh, especially with snakes and getting bit up by stuff in there. I thought it was a great elimination, and sometimes, if I said it once, I said it twice. Simplicity. Is best. Jump in this water and stay alive. I thought that was great. I really don't think they should have added putting the arms up and putting the elbows up thing. I thought it was needless. Put them in water, let them rock out for as long as humanly necessary. If you got to put a day between that and the start of the actual final, do it. It'll be fine.
Give them a day on increments. Do it in increments. Be like, all right, here's what we're going to do. The final 15 minutes of every hour, you're going to have to raise your hands and try and go 15 minutes. And then we're going to bring them back down. Also, and then, it's something like that. You could have changed it up and everything. Like, hey, you have to be on your back for this 15 minutes. Like, you have to try and stay, if you wanted to make it to where you get a winner. But overall, I'm not mad at it. Solid daily, solid elimination. Disappointing that Cara went home. But I don't think she's as disappointed, because of like, this is such a storyline season for her with relationships. So, and she talked about it enough herself, The only person
100%.
she really mend with was Bananas.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really great too. I thought it was great that her, Tori, and Jordan kind of put this whole rivalry thing to bed. I mean, are we gonna see them holding hands, feeding ducks in the park anytime soon? No, but
Well,
that
Cara
bir-
and Tori maybe, but not Cara and
yeah,
Jordan.
but in reality, I thought the birthday party was really, really nice. First off, it's really nice to see Cara being treated well by the cast. It was really, it's fucking refreshing.
Hmm.
I thought that was really nice. And Tori and Michelle seemed very genuine that they wanted to show some love for Cara. It was nice seeing her happy. These things are nice things to see. I think it shows a tremendous amount of growth on the Cara, Tori, and Jordan. Being able to put, hey, it's gone on long enough. It's not that deep. Time, can sometimes heal all wounds. I thought it was really great. And I thought it was really, really great to see too. But
This is all because of Wes and Bananas, mending fences and becoming friends. Now everybody else is like, oh wait, we don't have to hate each other forever, and it's like, nah, just get over it.
you're not wrong. And all reality, I think them joining forces, even though it's not permanent, even though they still go back at it back and forth a little bit, I think it's been great for both of them in each season.
Hmm.
I mean, granted they had to go against each other, but still, I thought it was great. I thought it was great to see. And it was one of those things that was so unexpected because it ran on for so long. It's like seeing, Giants and Cowboys fans holding together. It's great to see. It reminds me of a Sports Center commercial that I saw, and it was Big Poppy, and he was sitting down with I think it was like Derek Jeter or something. He takes Derek Jeter's hat, like, no, you're wearing a hat wrong. Punches out, folds it up, puts a Yankee hat on, and the Boston Red Sox mascot walks by
Oh
and
yeah.
sees Big Poppy with a Yankee hat on. He just drops everything. He's just heartbroken. So I feel like we're getting that same moment. It's really great to see. I'm never mad at that.
Yeah, and now we run into a final situation where, it looks, man, I don't understand how they let Jordan get to this final almost like, unscathed.
What?
What did
Yeah,
he have to what did he have to do to get there?
completely ridiculous. And I think he said something about in the previous season that he's never won a season that hasn't gotten into two eliminations. You can't let people like Jordan hang around. Even Bananas is still dangerous in his big age.
I don't
Um, but let me ask you a
yeah.
question. Bananas is going to the final, right? He had two members of the Bananas Angels in there.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Aviv and Laurel fell. Is Bananas Angels a successful alliance?
Yeah, 100%. If now that we know that Laurel was the odd person out, 3/4 of that made it. And Aviv just went home, 2 episodes ago.
And she was
You can
hurt.
right there, like, so their main four all placed top six for their men and women. So it's like, yeah, that's very successful. And now three of them are in the top four. There's a 50% chance an angel wins for the women and a 25% chance wins for the men. So it's like, it's a really successful thing. Representation's pretty interesting. We have, what do we have? We have three people from Era 4 made it, which is kind of expected. They should have done really well.
Hmm.
We have two people from Era 3, which is Jordan and Tori, it's interesting. We have two people from Era 2, and this is the most surprising because it's Bananas, but then it's Derek. And if you were saying, what did we say preseason? That the women from Era 2 are so good they could all end up in a final, and none of them
None of
made
them
it.
did. It's so wild.
And we were
So
talking about
wild.
and we were talking about how the men for Era 4 were so good. When you talk about Theo and Horacio and Kyland and we could say Josh. Josh is still really is good for them. And we have Paulie, and only one of those men made it. The most in shape guys. But some predictability things happen. Jordan's there, Tori's there, Rachel's there. These are things we thought would have. Bananas, I didn't expect him to be in the final just because he's always a heavy target. But it
Yeah,
is really
I thought they
cool.
would have knocked him out. In all reality, because they did this, it's easy to predict that Jordan or Bananas is gonna win this whole thing. And most likely, if I had to put my money on, probably Jordan. His freaking ego alone would carry him to it.
He should. Now, Bananas has placed better than him in finals twice.
Oh, Bananas is still Bananas. This
Well,
whole thing comes down to these two.
but there was a difference though, because the first time they went against each other, Jordan had Marlon, who couldn't swim. The irony of name of that. But then Bananas had Frank.
How long you been sitting on that one?
Well, it's really, I mean, think about it. His parents, come on. You're gonna name your son after a fish. You better put him in the pool early. But then the next time they go in a final against each other, Jordan has Anissa and Bananas has Nani. So I mean, that's two different times where there wasn't really a level playing field, and now we're actually going to get a level playing field. The only person that really stands out, because Derek's kind of performed, is Michelle. She's constantly been on the bottom of almost every time she's out there. She's been a target a lot, which is crazy because the first half of her game, it was like she was in a perfect position. And, now she's 3 eliminations in and she's in her first final. And I honestly think that she could potentially still win this thing, as crazy as that sounds.
It's crazy. My camera was not supposed to be off for as long as
Oh,
it
okay.
was.
I thought you were doing something. So I just kept going.
I was trying to glisten up.
But yeah, so I mean, let's talk about what do we expect from this final right now. First reactions: who's winning for the men and who's winning for the women? Like right away, off the top of your head, who do you truly believe?
Jordan and Tori. Even though Tori in that last elimination kind of took a foot off the gas, I don't see Jenny really going to be able to keep up. I think Michelle is going to fight her ass off, but I don't think she's going to have to bring what it takes. Then it comes down to Tori and Rachel, and just how the individual portion of this game has gone. It's hard not to put Tori at the top.
But also, they're about to start a final, and Tori just was in the water for 2.5 hours in an elimination, and they're going to wake up. I think they're going to wake up and go straight into that final.
I don't know. What time do you think it gets dark there? Maybe around 8. So I don't know. Maybe it's 10 o'clock. Maybe just start the final a little bit later on in the day.
But the other 3 women have 2.5 extra hours of not wear and tear on their body.
That's true, and that could very well come into shape, especially with exhaustion. That built up of fatigue. I'm sorry, that built up of being tired. So I would love to see how that's going to play out. How do you feel about the good ship Lollipop, the SS Sinister?
Cool. I mean, it's always cool to have like something that makes the final stand out. Like we're in a brand new location. It's kind of humid here. We have this cool little sinister boat that's like supposed to be relevant to our final. I mean, last time we had a boat before. Remember?
Yeah, the challenge loves pirate shit. If they have not made that clear.
Well, remember on season 29, Battle of the, what was that called? It was like Battle for a New Champion, but it wasn't. Invasion of the Champions.
Invasion ship.
They kept coming back to that stationary boat, on the first few legs. So it's like the same type of thing. We saw Wes and CT.
I mean, we've seen pirate themed shit a gang of times. So
Gauntlet 3 has like the best best intro to, not theme. It's not the best theme, but it has the best like intro to the TV show, because it has like everybody like walking underwater, like the rookies are walking underwater, and then all of a sudden the vets are popping out of the sand, and it was really cool.
It was good.
The best intro music to a season is actually Rivals 3. Or no, it's Invasion of the Champions. It's that like na 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 na. It's just like all it's like Indian theme, because that's where they were. And it was just really cool. I know I said Indian theme, and I'm pretty sure they were in like Phuket, Thailand, or something. Oh yeah. Well, Krabi, Thailand.
Now I'm kind of looking at it. We kind of ran through everything, kind of short and sweet.
I mean, that's where we're at right now, and it's what's going to be interesting here is that we are either going to be crowning Jordan his 4th main show, his 5th overall championship, Bananas' 8th main show, or his 9th overall championship, or 10th, because he has he has 7 main shows, and then he also won Champs versus Pros, or Champs versus Stars. He won Champs versus Stars 1, so he technically has 8 in his bag, 7 mainstays. Same with Jordan. He's won 3 mainstays, and then he won World Championships, which that to me should count as
it all counts to me. It all counts to me.
USA counts. Like, the only thing I understand, if people wanted to be like, well, USA 1 shouldn't count because they didn't let any challengers on it. Sure.
Count it.
Okay, but also there was no champions on Battle for New Champion. I mean, I,
Yeah,
I think they all count. Like, here's the thing: if we're gonna count seasons 1 through 8,
count them
then we
all.
should count all of them.
Mm,
It really doesn't matter because it's like, well, yeah, but they're
I don't
playing
know.
for charity. Charity.
Eight,
It's
eight,
like,
eight was pretty thorough.
what was
I mean,
eight?
eight
Eight?
was still kind of a lot of carnival game. Eight was Gauntlet, right?
No, 8 was the Inferno. 7 was Gauntlet.
Oh, Inferno. Yeah, come on. The Inferno was legit.
Yeah, but that was, but dude, what they have? They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people won. There were 2 teams of 10. 8 of their 10 people that showed
In
up won.
reality, the challenge probably needs to do that every 3 to 4 years. Have a big team challenge of about, it doesn't have to be 8, but I would say 4 or 5 people and put the champ tag on them.
I,
Just
I
make sure that it's deserving.
I think what they should do is they should do Battle of the Captains is a season, and
100%.
what they do is
100%.
you get 8 champions, and you get 4 female champions and 4 male champions, and they each get to pick one person opposite sex that has been in a final, and then person same sex has been on a final, and then they got to pick somebody that's done less than 5 seasons, and that's your team.
I mean, that's great, but in reality, I wouldn't even mind doing it. Hey, Team Bananas versus Team West, kind of like Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and Bananas and West, they get to stay safe all the way throughout the
They
final.
get to go. They get to go to the
While they get to
final.
coach their teams up. Who
Mhm.
wouldn't want to see that?
I think if like in Battle for a New Champion, if it was like that, if we had like Wes, Bananas, CT, Kara, Tori, Laurel, like their coaching, and then join their team, it'd be a cool concept. Also, I think really what they should probably do is we should get a new Ruins because obviously that season is pretty tarnished. Like
It is tarnished.
we should get a new no champions versus champions.
Now, even though it's tarnished, I did like the Ruins. I did like it. I thought the Ruins off. There's so many great
It's
moments in the
it's
Ruins.
such a nasty season though.
It is a nasty,
And it's
nasty
crazy
season.
because we hit Cutthroat season 20 right after that, and it feels like it's a whole different everything.
Yeah,
Like from 20 on, it feels so much different
a good
than like,
palate cleanser.
well,
But
like
also, it's evolution.
if you watch 19 and 20 today, 20 feels like a modern season, 19 feels like an old season. Like that's what's
100%.
or
100%.
18, sorry, 18 was Ruins, 19 was Fresh Meat, which is a terrible season. Fresh Meat 2 was a terrible season. That's just me. That's just me. Okay. I think it's whenever you have cold weather seasons, they're just like they don't hit the same because it doesn't like there are so many challenges they did on like Fresh Meat 2 where people got in the water and immediately got out because it's too cold. And it's like, well, what are we even doing here? Like,
Which I don't think would fly today. The challenges today are a little bit more athletic. So,
but yeah, potentially right now too, we're gonna either get Jenny's gonna get her second win and join that club. Tori's gonna get her second win and join that club. Michelle's gonna get a win and be a first time champion, or Rachel is gonna join our trifecta group that we have a new member in, which we don't have a lot of females in that. So
yeah, this is going to be Tori's final to lose. It really
yeah.
is. She's coming in with the momentum. I mean, maybe a little exhaustion to see how it
I
plays
think
out.
I think it's gonna affect her. I really do. I think it's gonna affect her, and I actually think everything is gonna be more major than you're making out to be. I think Tori is gonna be affected by the elimination. I think the karma vote's gonna screw somebody over, and I think Derek's penalty is gonna be detrimental. Like I just
Mm,
don't see a world where like think about this. Who's said anything negative about Jordan? Has anybody given Jordan negative like bad stars?
no, why would they?
And
Jordan has been on his best behavior.
he's the freshest he's been by not being in a single elimination. He's in a final against against think about his competition. 2 guys that have never really ran a final, but have also been in a couple eliminations, but then also against Bananas, who probably is gonna have lots of negative karma things. I mean, we've seen 5 people at least right now that we've seen have given him 1 star. Like
You know,
it's
did you see the trailer? He was just like, oh, I might as well jump in this water now.
I
As soon as
saw
you
that. I
mentioned
thought that was funny. I thought that was funny.
it. Well, do we have anything else we got to get to before we get out of here?
I think we are good to go. Let us, how
Awesome.
about this? How about this? Let's get a little question out there. If people stayed around all the way to this end, wherever platform you're on in this, and you can comment and everything, give us your thoughts. Investigate this Jenny thing. See, did she actually win? Is this a new challenge controversy we have that maybe we should go more in depth on? And let us know who you think is going to win for both the men and the women. If you're on YouTube, comment down below and let's see whose predictions are right if you're not in the spoil community.
Jordan and Tori are going to win, and then they will get re-engaged on the top of the mountain.
I'm not gonna lie. I was wanting Cara to go the whole way, but now
I wanted it too.
If Rachel wins, like if it's just Rachel, I don't care who else wins for the men. Like if it's Rachel and Derek, I'd be thrilled.
I would absolutely love to see Derek win. I'm not. Yeah, Derek. Because I don't know. I know I sound like a hater, but I really don't need to see Colin win one right now.
No, I don't either. But here's my thing with Rachel. I think Rachel's been disrespected for so long because she's not like a consistent show-upper on these shows where people don't talk about her as one of the greats. And I think this season has shown that all of us fans that haven't said she is on the Mount Rushmore for women are fools. And I think her spot is solidified over anybody like Emily, or she's above Laurel 100%. For me. Like
I think and I love Emily Schrum. I think she's a great competitor. I think she's also a pretty decent person. I do think she's highly overrated in the lexicon of where she ranks in the challenge.
I think she's top 10, but I don't think she's
top 10
4.
is fine.
For me, right now, I will list my Mount Rushmore right now. It goes Evelyn, it goes Rachel, it goes Cara, and then it goes Tori. I have already moved Laurel to 5. And in my opinion, Evelyn is the greatest female challenger to ever play this game.
I would agree.
I mean, she helped Paula win a final. That quote on Rivals 1 is one of the best quotes ever, where she goes, "For me to win a final, the impossible has to happen. Paula has to win a final." And then she does. And it's like, oh, okay.
This is
pretty
wild.
good.
I will put that in about the same place I would put, because I already said that if Jordan drags Anissa to a final and wins, I'll never hate on him again. And he would, don't get me wrong, Jordan is a GOAT. But as long as Bananas has more championships and CT is still around,
I don't know.
I'm sorry, the 7 championships buy you a lot of currency there. But if he drags Anissa to a final win, and like Anissa now, even if you did this Anissa 10 years ago, would still be impressive. If you drag Anissa now to a final win, even I, the person who hates his guts, would have to recognize that. Would have to acknowledge that. Absolutely amazing. But thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at LWC Podcast. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Love War Challenges. I will get this done. But, I'm not even going to say get this done by next week. I will get this done by All Stars 5. I will go through and get this done. Make sure you listen to Love War Challenges Podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app. Thank you guys for making us one of the top 20% of video podcasts on Spotify. We do appreciate y'all. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next week for the final. Bye-bye.